Good morning, everybody. It's the 18th of September. Happy Friday. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by the lads Ian Coleman and Steve O'Hare. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Everybody okay?
Yeah, good and
Pleased
happy.
it's Friday?
Made it through another week, haven't we?
Yes, we have. How did your webinar go yesterday, Steve?
Yeah, it was okay. You sort of like, it's very difficult to sort of self-analyze on them sort of things, but I suppose the feedback was okay. I think a few people may have got bored, but you know, that is
What was the subject of your
short-term trade ideas.
lovely?
So it was basically just sort of like going through, you know, really things to focus on when you're thinking about trading, and then sort of like just show how I would quickly analyze markets,
Okay.
and what sort of technical analysis I would use to analyze those markets to trade. So yeah, it was okay. It was quite good. It's quite a good refresher to do. It's almost like CPD. Your professional development is really looking at, because a lot of the time you can just get into the same routine with things and not think about what you're doing, because it just comes naturally. But it's good to sort of like self-analyze, I think.
Nice one. Well, what I'll do is I'll put try and find a link to that.
Yeah, I
stick
think
it in the
they're
show notes from today and publish it out to people if they want to catch up and watch it.
Yeah, I think they're looking to edit it later in the week, or probably be next week now. Otherwise, you've got a whole day's worth of analysts talking, and you've got to scroll through to find it. So I think we get the link next week.
All right, lovely. Okay, so market-wise yesterday, anything that particularly stood out for you guys of interest in terms of news? What sort of I've seen to be driving markets? What do we have? We had
Corona hit 30 million yesterday, didn't it?
30 million cases. Yeah, no
A
signs of
million-
that slowing.
1 million deaths.
Yeah. Some chat as well about an England-wide lockdown for a couple of weeks. It seemed as though they were going to try and maybe target half term, just sort of reading between the lines.
Yeah, I've heard that. It was
annoying.
Yeah, a good friend of mine owns a nursery, and they were talking about they were interviewed by the BBC, and they were meant to go live this morning, and they've cancelled that because of this talk about the half-term lockdown.
Right.
So yeah, looks a potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, which isn't nice.
Not sort anything out, is it?
No.
I went down the pub last night, strangely enough, because I don't go down there very often, and there's a guy that I've not seen for ages, and he just came up and he was a bit pissed. He went, "Hey, just give me a big hug," and sort of licked my face, and I just went, "Oh well, it's just what's the point?"
Sue him. You can sue him now.
No, we'll do if I get it.
It'll be CCTV in there, I'm sure. The other thing was Brexit talks. There seems to have been some useful talks, according to the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. She's convinced a deal is possible, so that seemed to help sterling a little bit off of its lows that we saw yesterday. Anything on the charts, guys, that you can throw up and have a look through? Lots and lots. Coming in.
Well, it's again, it's a bit Groundhoggy Day, isn't it? We talked about this yesterday. Dollar index, 4-hour chart, blah 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 blah, and this sort of this pullback. So as we said, you've got to be careful with these 50%. When they clip the 50%, it's normally, especially on the first wave, it's normally not enough to warrant a breakout. And all that happened yesterday is we got up to this level, which is the previous swing high going back from the 21st of August, and we've pushed lower. So I'm still looking for this, which is really starting to look quite nice with getting lined up to other pairs. Euro dollar, we've got bespoke resistance up here. This is our daily call, actually, because somebody didn't turn up for work this morning, so I had to do not that I'm bitter. 119.68 is our resistance level, and we've got this previous swing high here. So it looks like a decent boost in euro, but euro's looking slightly stronger than other base currencies at the moment anyway. This was something that I sort of looked at yesterday, euro sterling, and we got a mad spike. So it started off really well. Let's get down to a shorter time frame. This spike here, so we got a decent rally up, and then it spiked all the way down to near the lows, and then popped back up. But that to me is still quite bullish, at least on a intraday basis. So I prefer euro over sterling for continued upward pressure, and this is our support level here. Sterling dollar, I think, is going to be really limited. We've got loads of resistance here. The Marabuzzo level, which is the midpoint from the open and the close of a bearish candle, is at, we put it in our report this morning, 30.18. So that's at 30.18. We've got bespoke resistance at 30.16, and we've got 38.2% at 30.37. So I think really sort of limited upside for sterling. Plus, there were also there were more rumours. I don't know if it's on our morning sheet about negative interest rates again yesterday. I don't know who was talking about them, but I did see a sort of flash headline about that. With regards to sort of euro yen and the yen currencies, they did hit some support yesterday. This was the support level at 123.54, and we got sort of a correction to the upside, but I'm not seeing any sort of major technical patterns which would highlight a reversal in
I'm
in
seeing
yen
a head and
crosses.
shoulders on that.
Whereabouts? What, here? Head and
Yeah.
shoulders breakout, yeah. And that maybe just coming up to retest, you think?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the yen crosses are still looking quite bearish. Dollar crosses waiting basically for that move lower in the dollar to be able to get in at reasonable levels. I believe, and I don't really look at indices very often, but I sort of thinking how sort of volatile they seem to be at the moment. I mean, this is just sideward sort of action for majority of the week. This is the DAX. I've got a big wedge on it, which goes all the way back to here, which would be the measured move target on a breakout. But we've also got our bespoke support here, which is bang on this previous swing low. So I'm wondering whether or not if we do get a breakout to the downside, it's just going to hit this support and then maybe make a reverse head and shoulders. So this will then become the neckline.
If you look at the hourly, I mean, I can bring the charts up on what I'm seeing on the indices, but just at a cursory glance, this is the hourly chart on the CAC. So as we've highlighted, there's been a lot of sideways price action, but potentially what we're seeing in the very short term is some form of head and shoulders, maybe. So it'd be looking for some levels there. Maybe it's a bit all over the place, but maybe a breakdown here at 5,000, and we could be off to the races with that. I'm seeing a similar thing in the FTSE.
I like that one better.
Maybe that. Obviously a bit of weakness this morning first thing, so if we start to see further weakness there, then that could certainly spark some more selling.
Yeah, it's weird that actually, isn't it? Because obviously you're getting weakness, but they're not buying up the dollar.
No.
Which would normally happen.
Actually, the market I looked at yesterday was DAX. I could quickly run through what I analysed yesterday on that webinar. So really, as you said, sideways price action. Even if you go to the weekly chart, you've got an expanding wedge happening there, which is obviously a period of high volatility, which we understand, and that looks set to
go on for years.
It could, yeah.
So you might even form a diamond pattern, mightn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, but if that forms, you're going to look at probably 2040 until we get completed. Is that how long we're going to be with Corona for?
Exactly. And so looking at the daily chart, there wasn't really much to say apart from you're sort of seeing this almost ending wedge type formation, because obviously the momentum, and even without looking at the chart, I could sort of like sense that the momentum was dying down. And I think I put a MACD on it because that's always great for momentum, and you can sort of see in that time it's going lower. So that is working out. It's so flatline. But what was maybe a little bit more interesting to the shorter term traders was the levels I was like picking up on this upward trending support line. and you can see obviously you had 2 days which it hit the trend line here, but that really counts as one touch for me, and it's stalled in front of the trend line on sort of 3 separate occasions. So I'm looking for another retest of this before we can call it a decent trend line. But the hourly chart really sort of this almost symmetrical triangle formation forming, and I said, look, there's 2 ideas whether you're a bull or a bear. You can actually we just formed this bullish outside candle after a new low below this break line. So this would have been support. It would have then been support broken and closed below support, so negative, and then we had this bullish outside candle reversal, which was really positive. And I was doing the webinar around about 3 o'clock. So I said that this is obviously a bullish formation. It's come back and retested that sort of candle, and it looks like it's heading up towards this downward trending resistance line. So I haven't added these lines in this morning. This is what I had yesterday.
Lovely.
And it did exactly the same. Touched the trend line.
We want to see the recording now.
Yeah, that's it. Because I said the first idea for me would be selling this trend line and targeting a move back to this level here, and you can have a really nice, quite tight stop on it. But I said, but if you're bullish, the other one is to sort of, it's too late to enter because we were trading around about here. So it's too late to enter, but that's what you would have been looking to do on the close of that bullish outside candle. You'd have been looking to enter there. Your stop would have been there, and your target would have been up here. So it just shows you that sort of like the two, even if you're a bull or a bear, you can find a trade idea because there's always a high and a low in the market.
Cool.
Nice.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, I love that, Steve. Nice work. Okay, so what should we move on to now? Gun to the head from yesterday, unless anybody else has got anything on the charts they want to show?
No,
that's all cool. Gun to head's good.
Okay, so 3 trades yesterday, as we always do. Picking out what we believe to be the best opportunities right there and then. Coming up. There we go. Wasn't quite ready, Ian.
Sorry, mate.
Rushed me into that.
Ian obviously made money yesterday.
No, I don't know. That's why I want to alert. It's just about.
Okay. There's our 3 trades yesterday. Steve, you went short of Hang Seng, 0.5R down at the close. Ian went long of Euro Sterling. That could have been a whopper,
Master.
but it had a bit of a dip, didn't it, in late afternoon, unfortunately.
Very much so.
Still a nice win, 0.89R, and we had a 0.75R on New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. So a positive return overall. And we're on a decent vein of form with calling these ideas at the minute. So let's hope we can round off the week with a nice couple of winners. I'm going to quickly jump on my idea, even though it's Ian's honour. This is the head and shoulders top pattern that we just referred to a bit earlier on Euro Yen, which I quite fancy today. This is the 4-hour chart. I think if you look at the daily as well, there is some evidence that you can see it on there. Yeah, it looks quite reasonable after a real strong run up. Nice little formation of a top, broken down, potential retest this morning, although not exact, and potentially looking to sell a bit lower on that today. This is the more zoomed in version. I'm going to sell it now at 123.86, and I'm going to have quite a tight stop just above this morning's lows. I think if you were looking to be a little bit more conservative, you'd probably go above the neckline, which I've got around about 124.50. But the measured move of this head and shoulders top here is down at 121.78. So just going to go a couple of ticks in front of that at 121.80. And stop loss is going to be 124.34. So that is a 4.58R return if that works out today.
Nice one.
Who's next?
I'll go. I'm happy.
Go, Stevie.
I've just done this now on just looking at the DAX on the on my own account. Just put it on selling at 13,208. The stop is at 13,278. And the target is, let's target a move down to 12,908. How's that?
Is that? I can't find anything.
4.29 to 1.
Lovely. What was your stop on that, Steve?
Stop was at 13,278.
And your target?
12,908.
Loves the 8. Okay, Ian, what you got, mate?
Nothing. I'm going to go for this though. Euro New Zealand. I've got a confluence area down here, 173.20. This is where we're trying to get short on our intraday stuff, but I'm going to have to just go for it. We'll stop there. 3R. So selling at 174.73, targeting 173.20. We'll stop at 175.23, giving us 3R. Don't really like it. Don't really like anything at the moment.
Well, it's Friday after all.
Making my excuses before my stop.
Hopefully it turns out to be a nice big fat winner to end the week. Okay, anything else to add, gentlemen?
No, just have a good weekend.
What we got data-wise, just to close off the week, we've got consumer confidence, US Michigan consumer confidence at 3 p.m. That's expected to fall to 72 from 74.1 previous month. So possibility for a bit of dollar volatility around about that time, 3 p.m. I guess there could be some various headlines out about bits and pieces, Corona, Brexit, etc. So if keep your eyes peeled as normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Any plans for the weekend, gents?
No, get in as much as we can before we get locked down again, I suppose.
Yeah, got 50 people coming around for a rave, but apart from that,
in groups of 6.
Yeah.
Tables of 6.
Yeah.
Arsenal West Ham went Saturday night, Steve.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of a walkover, to be honest.
We shall see.
Yeah, you got no chance. You got no chance. Well. yeah, I think
I might have to pay for that actually. Pay up and watch that.
What, the golf?
Yeah, I've not got sport on my TV.
Now TV for the weekend.
Yeah, you just buy it for the weekend. Hey.
Oh right.
Don't tell me. Don't ask me how.
I'll send you a link in a minute.
Get horizontal.
Cool. All right, gents. We'll have a great weekend. Sorry. Well done this week, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Enjoy it. See you later. Bye.
Bye.